Are you a QA engineer who wants to learn mobile automation from scratch? Or you know the basic mobile automation concepts, but you want to learn and become a pro in mobile automation? If your answer is yes, this video is for you. This is the first video in my Appium tutorial series, which I have started with this particular video. In this video, you will be understanding about the introduction of Appium, and in the subsequent videos, you will learn how to set up your machine for Appium, how you can inspect elements, and how you can write simple Appium tests for Android and iOS platform. Subscribe to the channel to get notified whenever the new video in this series gets posted on this channel. So without waiting any further, let's start with today's video. So let's understand what is Appium. So Appium is an open source mobile automation tool that helps in automating Android and iOS applications. There are different repositories for Appium, which consist of different components, and these are all repositories are hosted on GitHub, and I'll be sharing that link in the description box below, so you can explore their different repositories. Appium also helps in automating native application, hybrid application, and web applications. It also supports in automating smart TV applications, Windows desktop application, and macOS desktop applications. Appium 2.0 follows the W3C specification because it uses Selenium WebDriver APIs internally. Why you should use Appium? So Appium provides support for multiple programming languages for their Appium client, which you can choose from, and you can use that Appium client to automate your Appium tests. So currently, Appium provides support for Java, JavaScript, Python, Ruby, etc. So there are multiple options which are available, which you can choose from. So Appium also provides a seamless experience for interacting with application under test, because the test writing style is very similar with Selenium WebDriver, and it will be easy for you to get onboarded with the scripting style. Now let's check out the Appium ecosystem. So there are different components which make up the complete Appium ecosystem. So these components are Appium Inspector, the first component. This Appium Inspector is a desktop-based application which you can use to inspect and identify different locators on your application. And you can also execute different Appium commands on the device and the application manually using this particular tool. Second is the Appium clients. These are the client bindings which are available in different programming languages, and you can choose any of these Appium client binding as per your requirement. Next is the Appium drivers. So these Appium drivers are Node.js based drivers which are created and maintained by Appium official team. And there are some other drivers also which are available for different platforms which are created and maintained by third-party organizations. For example, Samsung has its own Tizen driver which helps in automate Samsung-based applications. Last component is the Appium plugins. This component is newly introduced with Appium 2.0. And using Appium plugins, you can extend the functionalities provided by Appium, or you can also modify the behavior of Appium during the execution. Now, Appium architecture. This is the basic Appium architecture. First, you will be using Appium client of programming language of your choosing. And using that Appium client, you will be configuring the capabilities for the device and the application under test. And you will write different commands for Appium, which will be used to interact with the application under test and perform different actions on the application. So all these commands and capabilities will be passed to the Appium server. So this Appium server is a Node.js based API server, which normally you will be installing and running on your machine. Appium client will be passing the capabilities and the actions and the different Appium commands which will be executing. It will be passing to that Appium server. Appium server first processes the capabilities and identifies on which Appium driver this particular capabilities and the commands should get executed. So once the Appium driver has been identified, it will start the Appium session on that particular platform. So it can be Android platform and iOS platform. So for Android platform, there are two drivers which are supported by Appium. One is the UI Automator tool driver, which we will be looking in this series, and another is the Espresso driver. And for iOS, there is a XCUI test driver. So once the session has been created using the capabilities, the commands which you will pass using APM client will get diverted to the corresponding platform specific driver. And this driver will execute those commands on the device and the application. Now let's check out APM Java client class design. So in this series, we will be focusing only on APM Java client. So this is the class design. As you can see, root class is the WebDriver class, which is provided by Selenium WebDriver. And this WebDriver interface is being extended by remote WebDriver. When this remote WebDriver is used to connect on the Selenium grid and cloud-based providers. So this remote WebDriver is further extended in Appium, and Appium created an Appium driver. So this is the parent driver in the Appium Java client. And using this driver, there are different drivers available like Android driver, iOS driver, Mac 2 driver, and Windows driver for these corresponding platforms. So for example, when you want to automate Android platform, you will be using Android driver to create the session. And for iOS, you'll be using iOS driver. So there are certain prerequisites for this series. First is that you must have basic understanding of Java language. So all the code examples and demonstration that will be done in this series will be done using Java language, and you must have basic understanding of Java language in order to understand the code. In this series, I won't be going through any basics of Java language. So if there is any concept which is not clear for Java language, I would suggest that you first go through those basic concepts of Java. Next is you must have a basic knowledge of mobile testing. This is like a manual mobile testing knowledge. This will help you in writing robust test cases for mobile automation. From the experience point of view, there is no requirement for you to have any previous experience with mobile automation. So in this series, I will be targeting you to help you learn mobile automation from scratch. So even if you have no experience with mobile automation, at the end of this series, you will be confident enough to write automation test cases for any platform, whether it is Android or iOS. The last prerequisite is very important. You must have passion to learn and grow your knowledge. So this will help you in completing this series rather than leaving it in between. This was a quick video introduction for Appium. In the upcoming videos, you will learn about setting up your machine for Appium 2.0. So subscribe to the channel to get notified whenever this new videos get posted on the channel for this series. Earlier also I have created one series related to finger gestures, which you can use to perform different finger gestures on your mobile applications using Appium W3C action. So you can check out that playlist over here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.